Hello, and welcome to the Utility Sentry training program. In the following demonstration, we will show you how to utilize all of the features Utility Sentry has to offer and how it can benefit you and your company, as well as your residents. During this program, we will walk you through specific steps on how to navigate the software and maximize its potential as a day-to-day tool for you. We will show you how the automated email alert system works, the features available to you and your maintenance team, and how they will make your life easier. We'll even demonstrate how you can customize Utility Sentry to your property's specific needs. But most importantly, we want to educate you on how Utility Sentry was designed as a tool to make your job easier and not just another task to add to your list of things to do. We also want to remind you that Utility Sentry only displays the information that is in your on-site metering system. We are not in any way trying to correct the system, nor are we trying to challenge any billing company. Utility Sentry is designed to conserve resources and save you money. Having said that, let's go ahead and get into the training. Please feel free to pause or rewind the demonstration at any time if you need a recap of something. And remember, Utility Sentry is not just another daily task, but a tool to benefit you. Please enjoy. Once you have the appropriate browser installed, simply type www.utilitysentry.com into the address bar and you'll be taken to the Utility Sentry homepage. I would at this point save Utility Sentry as a favorite in your browser for future reference. The Utility Sentry homepage gives the user a brief overview of the software and some of the goals that can be achieved by using Utility Sentry. You can log in using your username and password that was provided by your corporate office. Of course, you have the Remember Me box if you want the site to keep your login credentials. Also, your browser may ask you if you would like to save your password as well. Once logged in, you will be brought to your property landing page. The main property page is where most of the important property and unit information is shown. The idea behind this page was to have as much information as needed at a glance. First, you have your property's information, including address, assigned email addresses for alerts, and the last time Utility Sentry pulled information from your on-site system. Next, you have your threshold settings for both occupied and vacant units on the property. These threshold settings will either be set by your corporate entity, or you may have been given the ability to change them at the property level. The threshold information link will take you to a page with recommended thresholds for all utilities. Remember, anytime that you update your thresholds, you must click Save to ensure that they are applied. Next, let's take a look at the unit information. The first feature you have is your date range settings. The dates in these boxes dictate the information that is displayed in the table below. Since Utility Sentry is designed to be an active tool to save you resources and money, there really shouldn't be a need to change your date range since it will always default to the current month. However, if you choose to, click on the date box and a pop-up calendar will display for you to choose the desired dates. Be sure to click the Update button to apply your changes. Also, here you have the ability to toggle your different utilities that you want displayed. Keep in mind that you can only see the utilities that are actually monitored on your property. Some properties will have all utilities sum metered, while others may only have one type. Here you have the option of how many units you would like to view. The site defaults to 50, but the most common setting here is all. This is a list of units on your property. As you can see, all of the unit addresses are a link. We'll get more into why a little later. Next is the vacancy status for the individual units. A simple double click on the yes or no next to a unit will give you the option to change a unit's vacancy status. This is where Utility Sentry knows which set of thresholds to apply to each unit. Here is the utility type that is monitored for each unit on the property. These can include water, gas, and electric. Here is the meter connection type, which can be all, hot, or cold in the case of a water meter. And last is your total reading for the date range that you chose. This information is also used to populate the property's total usage for the same date range here. Now the most convenient feature of Utility Sentry is the automated alert email. By far the best tool Utility Sentry has to offer is our automated email alert system. This email automatically notifies you of any unit that exceeded your preset utility thresholds from the day prior. It can be sent to up to 2 individuals' emails at the property level as well as 1 additional at the corporate level. The email will be from Utility Sentry and will say Property Report in the subject line. You will receive one email per day with a list of all of the units that exceeded the set threshold at the property level. In this case, there were 2 units. Now let's break down the email. First, you have your usage date for the utility used. Next, you have the unit address information. Then the meter ID and meter type, in this case W for water. And last, your threshold setting, as well as the actual reading that triggered the alert. In the rare event that Utility Sentry has not been able to connect to your on-site metering system for a period of time, you may see a large percentage of your property's units on this alert email. In this case, once a connection between Utility Sentry and your on-site metering system has been reestablished, the usage received will most likely be for multiple days. It is best to wait until the following day's alert email for a better look at which units may have been high for a single day after the connection has been reestablished. So where does this email come from exactly? Let's take a look. Go to the main property screen. Then you simply click on the Alerts tab next to Meter Readings. This will bring you to the Alerts screen. This screen will show you all alerts that have been generated for the property for as long as the site has been online with Utility Sentry. It displays the usage date for the alert as well as the unit info, vacancy status, the reading, as well as the current threshold setting for that day. Now, let's say you wanted to input notes for service that you performed on a certain unit with an alert. You would simply double-click the Click to Edit link and type in the notes accordingly. Once completed, simply click off of the text box and it will save the note. Any notes input here would be saved indefinitely unless changed later. Now, let's say you need to do some additional research on an alert. You want to drill down to the actual unit level view. First, you would click on the property in the taskbar to bring you to the property homepage. Next, using the search function, input the unit information to narrow your list of units. Then simply click on the desired unit address. This will bring you to the meter readings page, where the unit's information is displayed. If you notice here, you have the same date range option as well as the unit info and current vacancy status. An additional feature here is the individual unit notes. These would be notes pertinent to this specific unit only. These notes would include resident travels, is deployed with the military, or maybe note that it's a model unit. Next, you have your usage date and date time group columns. The usage date is the day of the utility usage, and the date time group is the day the system pulled the data from your on-site system. Next, you have the utility type, which would be water, gas, or electric based on your property, and meter connection, which can be all, hot, or cold in the case of water. Next, you have your meter display, and this can be used for on-site testing of the equipment. The meter should always be equal to or higher than this number, in the case of additional usage between the pull time and the time of checking the actual unit. And last is your daily total, which displays the total usage for the date in the usage date column. Next, let's look at the meters for unit tab. This section displays the transmitter ID, meter model, and utility type, as well as the meter connection if supplied by your particular on-site metering system. If we want to see an even more in-depth look into the readings, click on Details. The next screen gives you all of the details of the meter and transmitter system installed in that specific unit. Once again, only if this information is supplied by your particular on-site sub-metering system. From here, you want to move on to the Readings tab. This is the most detailed page you can visit within a unit. It gives you the same usage date, date time group, and utility type as before, as well as the initial meter reading, the daily reading, meter count factor, calculated reading, and finally the reading for that day. Once again, this information is supplied by your particular on-site sub-metering system. The one additional benefit you get here is the status column. This is where it would show you the status of a unit on a specific day. For example, if a unit is serviced and certain parameters were changed in the on-site system, such as the initial meter reading for example, it would show serviced in the status column for that specific day. Also, if there is a loss of communication between Utility Sentry and the property, then the system would not show any information until communication is reestablished. As mentioned before, once reestablished, the system would generate one total read for the time it was down. It would then display an average for all of the days down in the status column. This information would also be bold and italicized for easier recognition. Moving back to the unit details screen, we're going to select residents from the taskbar, and this will take us to the view only subscription page. Remember, Utility Sentry includes resident view only manual login for your residents that is handled at the property level only, and is also available to the residents as a subscription if they so choose. This page displays the view-only passwords initially set by Utility Sentry and the listing of which units in your property that have signed up for the automated services and notification. Again, these username and passwords are only managed at the property level. However, with subscribed access, a resident will be allowed to set their own threshold settings as well as their own email alerts. But don't worry, these do not in any way affect the property settings and thresholds. They are simply another set of parameters that apply to the resident only, so they can be alerted as they wish. This will help them better manage and adjust their own utility consumption and behaviors. This concludes the in-depth training for Utility Sentry. We hope that it was beneficial in helping you understand how Utility Sentry is here to help you save valuable time, money, and resources. Thank you for your time.